say the other thing that's really common this time of the year is the potential for storms. And we've got that coming on Friday. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about that. So we do have a slight risk. It does include Dallas-Fort Worth towards the Red River, and that's a level 2 out of 5 for the likelihood of strong to severe storms. Areas just south of that, so south of Interstate 20, under a marginal risk, that's a lower threat. And what we're looking at is if these storms form. There's a strong cap in place, so it'll be difficult for any of these storms to actually develop. But if they do, coverage is going to be very low, only at about a 20% coverage for North Texas. And not only that, but the main concern is the potential for strong winds and the potential for hail. Again, this is all if these storms develop. So this is a look at one of our models that does have activity popping up. The resolution is not that great on this one, so let me talk you through what that means. This is Friday about noon. You see that dry line approaching. Well, in this general area, we could see 1 or 2 thunderstorms develop. It does not mean this whole green blob that you see there. It just means that general area. As this dry line approaches I-35, we could maybe see some storms popping up. Again, very isolated storms across the Metroplex towards the Red River. And again, this is that time frame where we're under the warmest part of the day, where we could see a few of these storms develop and become severe. And a few storms could develop along our eastern counties at around 8. But after that, activity will quickly go down because of the sun setting. So these storms will lose a lot of its energy. Now, that dry line is going to be followed by a cold front that moves in Saturday morning. As of now, it looks like sometime between 8-10 in the morning. We'll notice the winds picking up a tad. The air is going to become drier behind the front, but that dry air is going to interact with any moisture left over, especially along our eastern counties, and it could produce a scattered shower or two. This would be very early on Saturday. Coverage less than 10% for most of us, and then we'll continue to see this front push off towards the east. We are looking completely dry for the rest of Saturday and Sunday. If these storms develop, we could pick up about a trace to about 1/10 of an inch. That's not a lot. Our air is pretty dry right now, and we're not going to recover enough to see any of that moisture kind of hold itself together when that front pushes through. So our high temperatures, that's another one. Today, temperatures are in the 70s. Tomorrow, we make it to 80 degrees, 82 degrees on Friday. And that front comes in, drops our highs back into the mid-70s, which is closer to the normal for this time of the year. We ramp back up into the low 80s on Monday. Here's a look outside right now. Cedar Hill showing a little bit more cloud cover out there, but that's not really impacting our temperature. Right now, 77 degrees. Our pollen count, if you are spending time outside, not just today, but this will hold true tomorrow as well, since we're not seeing any major wind shifts. Oak, ash, poplar, all at a high count, fungus at a low count. Right now, 78 degrees at DFW Airport. Winds are out of the south and east. Again, on the light side, 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're noticing a little bit more cloud cover across our far southeastern counties. That's where we find our slightly cooler temperatures, but even then, everyone in the 70s. Not only that, but we also see a little bit of that rain activity. And the reason why, well, is because of a big area of low pressure to the south of Louisiana. If you are going to head out this evening, it's not looking bad at all. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s through about 7, 60s at around 9. And by tomorrow morning, it will be slightly cooler in the mid-50s, about 56 degrees. We're going to see the sunshine, although some counties to the south and east could very well see some fog develop. Tomorrow afternoon, we are going to warm up just a couple of degrees more into the mid-80s, possibly across our western counties, since it'll be a little drier. Mid-70s for our eastern counties. Our satellite and radar, like I mentioned, showing that cloud cover. There's that area of low pressure I've been talking about. It's this big swirl that you see here bringing in rain across portions of the Gulf Coast. Tonight, temperature drops to about 56. Tomorrow, again, we make it to 80 degrees, and then it warms up to 82 degrees on Friday. Most of us will not see the storms, but it's always good to be prepared, especially if you do have any outdoor plans on Friday. You have family night at Six Flags. We've got info posted on that on our social media accounts. And then this weekend looking fantastic with highs in the 70s, sunshine, just a really pretty April weekend.
It's great when we get it figured out in time for the weekend.
Right?